Remember to like the video and also subscribe to my channel. Enjoy the video. Hey everyone, it's Minnesota Coaster Enthusiast here, and today we're back with the Roller Coaster Tycoon adventure. And in today's episode, we're building flat rides. So, drop tower, another drop tower we're putting in, and a bunch of other just standard kind of amusement park rides. This is really just to help build the park out. So I'm putting a zipper in right now. You typically find these at traveling carnivals. They're not typically at amusement parks. I've actually never seen it at an amusement park before, so... But most fairs... You've probably been on one of these if you've or seen one, at least. Either seen one or been on one. They're pretty fun flat rides. Kind of build a very, very long queue for this. For literally no reason, but... That's fine. It's pretty cool, but... We also built some rides that are that don't exist anymore. So, a few of them don't. There's one or two that don't exist anymore. Now, we're also going to be building a bunch. Now we're just making a line of flat rides, pretty much. So, see the train going by? I put a shot tower in, an SNS shot tower. These are typically made by SNS. And they're typically just... They're shorter and taller ones. I have a drop version of it. I have a drop tower version of this in the park too, but I wanted to have a separate tower for just a smaller, like, space shot tower, so that's what I ended up doing. And then I also had a bunch of other, like, some kiddie rides and some other kind of rides in there too. I will be building another coaster next episode, so I haven't determined what I'll be building next episode, what type of coaster, but I'm hoping, potentially, thinking another family coaster would be kind of nice. Then I think we'll do a 4D coaster after that, so that'll be pretty fun. So I'm building a queue line right now for this. No, I didn't make these queue lines crazy long just because it's a flat ride. They don't typically have crazy long queue lines. Some do, but some don't. It depends on the ride and the park. In real life, these things have decently long queue lines just because it's typically a more popular ride. For example, my home park, Valley Fair, they have a pretty long queue line for it. I've never actually ridden one of these, so maybe next season when the park reopens. I guess you see it testing over there. So it just shoots up and then, yeah. So, yeah. So I have another, there's the other tower over there. Now, this ride I'm going to put in, I don't believe exists anymore. Do not believe this. These used to exist, but now it's a defunct ride model. So, I'm not sure why. I think it was Schwarzkopf. I don't remember who made these, but they don't exist anymore, sadly. Which is really sad because I think this looks like a really fun ride model. It's very similar to if you've been on Kamikaze at any state fair, if you're in that kind of ride. It's very similar. It's a single arm. I guess it looks like a very similar ride to it. That's the most similar ride I'd probably in real life to put a comparison to. So now we're putting a carousel in, because carousels they're typically very much a classic ride. Every park needs a carousel. That's just a rule. You need a carousel. We don't need one, but you should have one somewhere in the park. I have actually ridden Valley First Carousel, which is not shameful. I just had to ride it decided to ride it one day because I'm like I've never ridden this before, so I did it. It was pretty fun. Yeah, so I'm just feeling a queue line. This is like a small ride. I don't know really what it is. It's like one of those kiddie spinning rides that most parks have. It's pretty much that. I mean, kiddie rides are never really. Some of them are kind of interesting, but some of them are just really basic. Like your drop towers, your kiddie drop towers, and your kiddie swings are pretty standard. But I think once you get into some of those weirder flat rides, I'm like, why don't they make adult versions of this? Too. They have actually a lot of really cool. Zamperla has some really cute little kiddie rides and some cool models. I'm not really a huge flat ride person. I do enjoy them when I get to ride them, but my favorite, I guess, for me right now would probably be. It's hard. I think Extreme Swing and Valley Fair. I really like that, and I also like Brain Surge at Nickelodeon too. So I like both of them a lot. I don't really mind flat rides if they're there. I mean, I'll maybe ride them if I feel like the absolute desire to go on it, but typically I don't really go on them, which is why I'm putting them in this park, because every park needs flat rides. That's just a given. You kind of need a mix of coasters, flat rides, and a dark ride if you have a dark ride or not. We're also gonna put a dark ride in this park, I think. Yeah, probably. We're probably gonna put a dark ride in this park at some point. Haven't quite determined where, but I'm gonna figure that out. Topspin. Valley Fair used to have one of these, but it got removed a few years ago. I'm still sad that Riptide's gone. Riptide's gone because it was such a fun ride. It was such a weird ride too. It's so cool. The flipping was pretty disorienting, but it was fine. It was a pretty fun ride. So I made kind of a long queue line for that just because, why not? What other kind of rides should this park get? Comment below what you think. So there's a few of the rides over there testing. Now this canopy doesn't spin, which in real life they typically do spin with a ride. Some don't, some do. It depends on the model and where it's located in the park. Top spins are slowly just disappearing in real life. We don't see as many as we used to back in the early 2010s. A lot of parks still had theirs, but now they're all gone because they're just. I guess they're hard to maintain because the company who makes them isn't. Well, they are around, but not. They don't make that anymore. So, I can see why it's hard to maintain for a park. So I ended up adding some color to the junior coaster. So thank you guys for watching this. And I'll see you later. Bye!